gosh, technical difficulties.
If it works, you can make me the host.
Okay.
Y'all are on.
Hello, and welcome to today's Power Hour. We apologize for being 12 minutes late. We had some technical difficulties. Today, you might notice Howie the hot dog, Sid the cat, and I'm dressed up in a sheet. For Halloween, we're doing something a little bit special. We're doing something a little bit different, and we're excited to share this with you. Really quickly, though, we'll go around and do our introductions, and definitely, again, saying thank you to the Native Wellness Institute for allowing us the time and space to be able to do this with you guys. Keep it light, have some fun before this big weekend. But I'll pass it over to Howie to start us off.
Hey everybody, my name is Gardena Howie Goodleaf. You could see we're dressed up today, and my hot dog. It's very fun, Halloween is one of my favorite times of the year. I usually go all out with all kinds of things, but this year stayed home, so this is what I had on hand. It's great. It's still a pretty great costume. I have to admit, it's a little hot. But yeah, we're just gonna have some fun today with a few stories, a few safety tips on how to have a safe Halloween at home. Sierra.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, Josh, Howie. Happy to be here with you guys and celebrate and have some fun. So Howie and I are new moms, and so this is a lot of I was just telling Howie how excited I was, and Josh how excited I was to just do something and be a little bit creative right now. So I am a cheetah, and I've never really worn cheetah print before. I got this one dress when I was pregnant, and this was the first time really wearing cheetah, so going a little bit out of my element, which is exciting, just to take some risks while in quarantine. I know there's not a lot going on over here, but it's fun to just grow a little bit more and definitely experience expressing myself in different ways. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays as well. And yes, so stay safe at home, you guys. I don't know if we want to jump right into talking about what we're doing for Halloween and how we're staying safe, or should we save that for later?
Yeah, we'll just do that in a second. There was a couple of things that have happened, especially like in the super recent days. Yesterday, being exact, was actually the largest spike in COVID cases, like in the time of the pandemic. And it's hitting Indian country really hard. So the CDC and other top health officials have urged people not to go out and trick or treat this year, just to try to help contain the spread of the virus. It's taken a really big toll worldwide. And we just want to make sure that, like, even though it is a super fun time, it's a familiar time. We're used to hanging out with people, going to parties, eating ciders, maybe smashing some pumpkins. We definitely want to do things in a super safe way this year. So I just wanted to put that out there before we keep going. I'm gonna step off camera and put my wig on real fast. But yeah, if we could, maybe Sid, would you mind telling us what are you guys doing this Halloween? What's new?
Yeah. Thank you, Josh, for sharing, and thank you for being, an advocate in all the things that you do. I just want to send our deepest thoughts and prayers and support to all of those that are being impacted by COVID-19. If that is a family member that got sick, or we're all equally impacted in some way by COVID-19, and just prayers to those that are having it harder during this time. So for Halloween this year, my dad is going to be coming down and spending some time with us. He got tested this morning, and so he'll be driving down. So I'm really excited to see him and spend Halloween together. Nice. So since my little Hesea has been born, I feel that my mom and my dad, they split when I was younger. And so since then, we've had conversation here and there, but it never was like a daily thing. And so now with Hesea being here, I just want to share more and, communicate more with him. And so now we're definitely talking on an everyday basis, which is amazing to, have that relationship rekindled and just strengthen our relationship with each other, especially during this time of COVID and, being quarantined, and definitely feeling grateful that I can reach out to him and have a conversation when, like, I was a teenager. I wasn't necessarily talking to him as much as we could have been, but yeah, so he'll be coming down. I know that I want to cook for him and cook for my family. I love cooking and making desserts. I definitely want to make some like candied apples. I really like spicy stuff, so I'm gonna put like some tahini on my candy apples too, which I'm excited for, and just like all of the sweet treats. Tomas, my partner, and I are huge, have like really crazy sweet tooths, so I'm really excited to enjoy all of the treats. I think that we've done a pretty good job quarantine and like staying safe, and so coming into the holidays with our little baby, I wish that she could have had a different experience with making memories, the same memories that I remember growing up. And so there is a little bit of heartache that she's her first Halloween, she's not going to experience the way, her cousins have, or her friend, like my friends have. And so I just, the bottom line, I'm just want to make it as special as I can for her and her own little experience and memories. Yeah.
Dope. Hey, my partner just came in. Every time she sees my costume, she laughs. For everyone at home, I'm Princess Leia. I feel like we were talking about this before we came on. Like, yeah, it's different this year, and things have to be that way for us. We've talked about like our own personal choices and things, wanting to keep our family safe. But it was cool. It was cool to see everyone, taking parts of their childhood and things that they loved, and making a memory of it. We were talking about how Sib really liked the Cheetah Girls. For all the 90s kids out there, watch Disney Channel. That's what's up. And Princess Leia was a big, motivator for me growing up. So naturally, I wanted to emulate her example today. And Howie talked about how much she loves vegan hot dogs, and how that was a big motivator for her in her life. So it's, yeah, sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments that are coming through. Someone commented on your buns there, Howie. They said, "Ooh, those buns." Other people congratulating you on your awesome makeup there, Sib. And Adina, this is a towel. That is correct. We used to reenact in my house. We were pretty big Star Wars fans, and we'd reenact like scenes. And this is one of the props. It's kind of hard to hear though sometimes. Kind of like earmuffs, so gotta offset the ears a little bit. Yeah, there's a lot of things that people are doing too. I love how your family's getting tested before you guys see each other. That's a super safe way to do it. I was just up in Oregon not too long ago, out hunting with Jalene's son, Shady, and when we were out there, that's something that we did. We got tested before we saw each other to make sure that we were safe.
That's awesome.
But like one of the other things that they're doing in their family, Jolene, to give them another shout out, is they have a costume party that they are sending in like photos to one of her uncles, and they have categories and stuff, and they're all going to get judged on it. In Australia, when I was living in New South Wales and traveling around as a young guy, I met some American families who lived like way out in the outback, and they had Halloween in their house. They would just go from door to door. Like some of the kids were like 16 and over it, but for the little ones, it was exciting, right? It was exciting.
That is so cute. That is a really, really good like idea, especially being home and if you have multiple kids to just go from like, are you talking about like the bedroom to the other bedroom?
Yeah.
Cute. Oh my gosh. Also, side note, we are huge Star Wars fans as well. And so The Mandalorian premieres season 2 tonight. For those of you that don't know, that's what's up. Yeah. And I just wanted to throw that out there because we have our Princess Leia with us today. And it's actually crazy because there are it's really cool that you're dressed up like Princess Leia. It reminds me of this spiritual being, and they're from Tomas's tribe, and I cannot remember them fully, but just know you look like a spirit too.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That would be a
And then
help.
Howie, how are you going to be spending your day?
Yeah, it's this year, it is a little bit challenging with everything that's going on, but I think this year I'm just gonna carve a pumpkin. Well, last year I was pretty busy, so I didn't really have the time, but now I have the time to actually carve a pumpkin. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna put the seeds in the oven, make some pumpkin seeds, and use that as a snack, watch some scary movies, maybe bake something. And well, I'm dressing up my little girl as like I was telling you guys a while ago, a little caterpillar. It's gonna be so cute. But it'll be her first Halloween too, but we're gonna be staying in, so we'll be with her. And actually my father he carved a pumpkin for my daughter, and he carved her name into the pumpkin, and her name is like pretty long. It's like her name is Zagarakoda, so it's pretty long. So he told me he spent a whole day carving the pumpkin for her, like her name, and he made it a huge pumpkin. So when he dropped it off, like she was able to fit in the pumpkin. So it was so cute. We got to I got to take pictures of her with her in the pumpkin. So that was really nice. It was like a little, yeah, I don't know, it was really nice. But yeah, we'll just be staying home, carving pumpkins, making pumpkin seeds, watching movies, and yeah, it should be fun. But I don't know. The other day, my sister was telling me about how she was doing. They have online masquerades for their online schooling because she's homeschooled right now. So they were having a masquerade, but through their Zoom. So I thought that was really cool because she doesn't really get to go out or see her friends or anything, but they had like a cool activity where they could dress up and see each other, and she was like super happy about that. They also had I think a pumpkin carving contest. So they all put their pumpkins on the Zoom, I guess. I don't know. She won, so she was like super stoked about that. She made like I don't know how, but she made a reindeer out of a pumpkin, and she was super happy that she won. So I don't know. These are some of the things that we've been doing.
So I'm like sitting here listening to you guys, and there are moments where I'm just listening and really agreeing. And I love the story that you told about your daughter being in a pumpkin and how your dad took all day to carve it. Like, that's a beautiful sentiment. And then I remembered that you're dressed like a hot dog. This is kind of crazy. This is the first time I've been online like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, other families are doing things like Jeline and her family are doing something for their niece and their little ones. They're making like a haunted hallway and just keeping it super central, right? Everything trying to keep it as close to home as possible to avoid like contact with other people and keep it in line with medical advice. But I really think that there's a lot to be done, this season at home. It's gonna be different, but there's definitely some cool ideas. And finding a pumpkin big enough to put children in, your children, is a good idea.
Oh yeah, I just want to go back really quick to it. We are the new parent group. This is a new parent Zoom for NWI Live. I just realized that I said that Howie and I are new moms, but I also want to say that Josh is also a new dad. Yay! So Hosea is 6 months, and then it goes to, and then Josh, right?
Josh.
Yeah. Our baby Toga Horoma is 3 months and a couple days. 2 days. 3 months and 2 days.
So Rakuda is 2 months and a few days, a few weeks. I don't remember exactly. Yeah, she's 2 months.
So cute.
Yeah, actually, side note, I really appreciate that all of our babies have Indigenous names as their legal name.
Mm-hmm.
That was like a really big thing for us as parents when we were deciding the name. Toga Horoma means she kills in the snow. And we were like, do we translate that in English and just put snow on the birth certificate? And we're like, nah, this is her name. It's what it's going to be. People are just going to have to learn how to say it and understand. So yeah, I just wanted to say that too, to sprinkle that on there. I love that our babies carry their people languages as their name.
Mm-hmm. So cute.
Hello.
Is that you?
Oh. We have a ghost.
Hello.
Oh.
You guys have any? So we got a little bit of time left, and there was something that Jeline was talking about. She's like, yeah, any scary Halloween memories, or some of your favorite Halloween memories? What comes to mind? What comes to mind when you hear that?
I have an embarrassing one. Just want to hear that.
An embarrassing one?
A very embarrassing one, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. I was at an amusement park. Usually these amusement parks are pretty cool around Halloween. Like there's like zombies running around and like vampires, and they pop out of nowhere and they scare you. But you expect that, so you're like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, so I went. You see the zombies, but they have an actual haunted house when you go. So I was with one of my friends. And I was like, come on, let's go in the haunted house. Let's go. And they're like, no, I don't want to go in. It's boring, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I love haunted houses. Let's go. And then, so after begging for like, a few minutes, they finally caved. And we had to wait in line for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes. So it was a while. And so we finally get to the front of the line and we're going in now. And so when we get into the haunted house, it's all dark. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And as soon as we get in, I look down the hall and there's like a clown at the end. And I was like, and then I had this sudden realization where I had a fear of clowns, I guess. I had no idea. But then I was like, oh my God. And I wanted to turn around and leave. But then I thought, I was like, oh God, my friend's going to be so mad. I made them wait this long. I was like, I can't tell them, never mind. So I was like, just go. You can do it, whatever. Just close your eyes. So I'm walking with my eyes like this. It's already dark in there. and like this clown's coming at me with like a fake knife, I guess. And so I start freaking out, and I start running, and it's dark. So I'm running, and I'm holding my friend by the arm like this, and I'm like, we have to go. They're like, calm down. And so I'm freaking out, and then the clown starts whispering in my ear. I don't even know what he was saying, but he starts whispering all kinds of things, and I was like, oh my god! So I start running, and I ran right into a wall. I ran right into a wall, and I was like, oh my god, just get me out of here. And I don't know, so I got out of there, and my friend was all embarrassed, a little mad, but I made it out alive. But that's the day I discovered I have this fear for clowns. But,
Oh no.
it's a horrible experience, and I won't do that again. My embarrassment.
Sudden it was, and I really appreciate like the like the story is good, but the hot dog's costume and face like better, man. It's just that's just tough, man. I hope everyone at home is enjoying this as much as we are. I'm glad they came all out at once.
That's so funny. I have a funny haunted house story too. I have like two funny ones, but so the first one, it was the same. Like I was like, I'm the worst at haunted mazes and houses. Like I will like close my eyes and just scream like the whole way through. And so one of the stories is we were going through a haunted house, and it was kind of res. So we were walking, and then it like went down, and you had to crawl through like this crawl thing. So we're like crawling, and there's like this chop thing that like pretends that you're like gonna get chopped, but like the whole thing, it's to separate you and your friends so that you're alone. And so it's coming down, and it like chops down, and like one of our friends like has to keep going, and it comes back up, and they're gone, and then like chops down again, so like really splitting people up and like spacing them out. And I was like, I am not about to be like separated from a friend. And so I try to crawl like really fast before the chop thing like comes down, but it came down like right on my back. I was screaming and laughing, and I'm just laying and it's like chopping. Oh wow. We have a visitor. Oh my god. Hi.
Oh my god, that's an awesome costume.
Okay, Senatapi from the Blackfoot Reservation in Montana. We're out here raining, snowing, and we're having a drive-through for all the kids to get prizes and candy. We have hundreds of vehicles, but I just wanted to come on and say Oki and that Native Wellness Institute rocks!
What? Hold on, Dave. Thank you.
We love you. We love you, Indigenous 20-something. You're our heroes.
Oh, we love you. Happy holidays, Bigfoot.
Man, I gotta up my game, dude. I was like, oh, don't have a Halloween costume. That's okay. We can be creative, you know. Borrowed my 3-year-old's like laser gun, and
You look great. Let's give it up for Josh. Yay.
hold on. I just want to go back to Howie's emergency hot dog costume and Theta's emergency Sasquatch costume, Bigfoot costume. This is commitment. That's what I'm talking about. We need more of this.
What is my emergency hot dog costume? She's like, we love you. So I'm in a hot dog costume. She was doing a drive-by. Is that what she said?
Yeah, that's so cool. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I think they're doing that in my community too. They were saying that for like the at one of the schools, like you drive up to the school and somebody with like a lacrosse stick, they have like candy and they'll put it in your window so they don't touch the candy. I didn't see it myself. I just heard of it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Since like kids can't go out for Halloween, it's just like a quick like thing. Really nice. There's actually in my community they usually have like somebody has these haunted woods. So I think they've been doing it for 14 years, and this is the first year that they couldn't do it because of like COVID-19. But so since he couldn't do it this year, I had I have a small community, so I was driving down the road and past, I guess, where this person lives who usually hosts this haunted house, and it's so crazy. There's like so many like I don't know how to explain it. Like, so much decorations, I guess, of like all kinds of scary stuff, and I don't know. I guess it's a cool thing to, since you can't go out and do things, like you can drive by his house and see like how much decorations it is. It looks super cool, and it's like super decked out with all kinds of scary stuff, and it looks real. So he goes all out every year. So I think that's something you could do while staying in your bubble in your car, passing by, seeing the decorations.
That's so fun. Near my community, well, in like I grew up in Page, Arizona, which is like a border town on my res on the Western Agency. And so about, I would say 30, 35 miles like east of us, there's a community called Coppermine, and we do like a haunted like woods as well, a haunted forest. But it's scary because it's like they like before, it's like in the middle of nowhere, like res, and you just think about like all our scary stories that we have, and some people like do dress up like scary monsters in like our culture. So it's like, oh, it's intense. So they're like, people wear like different like furs and stuff. And I remember when I was younger in like high school, we'd like joke about Yanagloshis, which are shapeshifters, and that is a whole crazy like diving into like scary stories, like Navajo scary stories. And so it's scary out there because you're buffalo.
Oh God.
I love it. We're getting special guests here.
Did you cut those eyes out yourself? I had to eventually. Sorry, you were saying the shape.
Oh yeah, and so, but it's like really crazy because I remember like one year they like dug this thing where you have to go like underground and then like walk. Yeah, there was a lot of hazards in there, but it was a lot of fun.
You never had any like well, there was a ton of that stuff like where I was growing up and around. I've actually always been like too scared to go into those places. I went one time with a group of friends because when I was younger, there was this girl that I liked, and we were like walking close to each other, like, oh yeah, I'll be there, I'll help you out. And then this dude popped out with a chainsaw, and I like freaked out. And then someone grabbed my hand and I was like, oh yeah. And it was one of my best friends, Nathan, who was obviously not the girl that I was hoping for, but he was like on my hip the whole time, and we ended up helping out each other. Turns out I didn't need a girl, I just needed my boy. What is that?
This is so much. You guys have no idea how much fun.
I know. What's that?
The dragon?
Haunted. We're being haunted.
The commitment. This is what I'm saying. How many people out there have these kind of costumes on hand? I feel so unprepared. So unprepared.
think it comes with you know, wisdom and parenthood for many generations, many years.
Well, wait, where did you get your hair, Josh?
Oh, this whole thing. Oh yeah. It was a clean towel that was in the cupboard.
Oh my God.
How did you make? Did you look up a tutorial?
No, I've known how to do this for a long time. Traditional skill, actually, in my family, it's passed down. Not used for ceremony or anything, just for fun.
Ow.
Yeah, it's actually pretty simple. We're not gonna do a tutorial on here, but you just like grab the ends of the towel and then like fold it into thirds and make the thirds kind of tight, and then you just roll it up on itself, and then you leave a space in the middle. Stick your head in there. But fair warning, if you do it, like these things are like earmuffs, man. If someone's yelling at you and you're in trouble, you gotta like lift it up to hear it sometimes. So if you're
Was
a
Eva
troublemaker-
impressed by your skills?
Wait, what was that?
Was Eva impressed by your skills?
I surprised her. So I didn't tell anyone what I knew we were gonna dress up today. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, man, I don't want to buy a costume, you know? I haven't been trick-or-treating since I was like 12 years old. I was one of those guys who's like, yeah, I don't need to do Halloween stuff. I'm too cool. But secretly, not even so secretly, my parents had a huge Halloween party every year. So my cousins and I would just hang out. Like every year we'd get together, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. We'd all play video games upstairs. And so we were doing Halloween stuff. It just wasn't out doing what everyone else was doing. Anyways. I was like, yeah, I want to do something, but I don't want to go and I don't want to go and buy a costume. And I was just thinking about like, man, what could I do at home? And then I remembered the towel trick and how we would like reenact scenes from Star Wars, you know, how much fun it was to play like Princess Leia and just ad lib stuff.
Mhm.
So like one example, I think I was like 16. I mean, I say kid, you know, people think children. Now I was like 16, and my cousins and I were reshooting. Truthfully, before like social media was a really big thing, we just filmed it on our phones for ourselves. Like it was, it's kind of fun. But anyway, so Leia gets like trapped or captured by Darth Vader in like the first scene of A New Hope, and she's sitting there talking about, you know, her mission and how she's got to be let go and you shouldn't be doing this, blah blah, kind of telling them off. And in our version, Darth Vader gets like smacked, like he gets the beat down, and so I was dressed up as Leia, as in my rugby clothes, and the only thing I had that represented Leia was this. And we just went to town on my cousin with a couple of broomsticks, and he was like Darth Vader. And at first he's like, no, please stop. And then after a while, he's like, seriously, stop. So yeah, this represents like a lot of good memories of my childhood and family connection.
Mm-hmm. That is the best.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Hey, I had someone. I had something to say. Someone popped on a little earlier and asked for a recipe for pumpkin soup. Whoever was talking about pumpkin soup, if you do have a recipe, go ahead and throw that in the chat. But there was one time, were you on the trail Halloween when we cooked soup inside the pumpkins, Sid?
No, I was not.
Okay, so there.
Oh wait. No, I think I got something happened. I don't think I was there, or we got lost. Didn't make it.
Stuck out on some ridge, sitting in the freezing rain. So for everyone who doesn't know, Sierra and I used to work for a wilderness therapy company. Anyways, one time we were out on the trail for Halloween with our young clients, and the office brought out a whole bunch of pumpkins and cut off the top and carved out the middle. And then we filled it full of like potatoes and onions, chives, just everything that we wanted in our soup inside the pumpkin. And then we filled it full of water. and then we used the top that we cut off as the lid.
Mhm.
Heated up rocks in the fire, and then put those hot rocks in the pumpkin with our soup, closed it up, and then cooked our soup, and we just went for a swim and hung out all day. So for anyone looking for something fun to do at home, that might be something else. It might be something else to do.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so,
cool.
yeah, it was awesome, and
Yeah.
it tasted great. I'd been out for 16 days, and so sometimes when I'm out for like a really long time, like not that great of food tastes pretty amazing. So I probably should. I think I'm gonna have to try it like now in this life in this time. Hey, Jolene was asking about like what you guys do when you're younger. What are some like favorite family memories?
I don't know, just going out. It was always so exciting. Like you get home. Well, usually it was always a school night or something, Halloween. But like just like rushing home and like getting changed into your costume and like eating as fast as you can so you can go out trick or treating. But where I live, it's always kind of it's colder, so usually every Halloween it would rain. But it was always just so exciting just to like I don't know go out with your family and just go trick or treating and usually every well now that I'm older, usually I feel so bad sometimes, but now I go to well I used to go to my father's house and I would dress up like really scary and my father would be handing out candy and I would scare all the kids that would come get the candy and my dad would be all embarrassed like oh god. But sometimes little kids would come and then I'd feel bad like oh no like they see me there and I look all scary and but I don't know it was really those are some of the things that we used to do pop out and scare everybody but yeah. What did you guys used to do?
Wow.
Lavina, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? I can't hear you guys.
Where you at? Where you at,
Halloween,
Lavina?
everybody!
Happy Halloween.
Totally can't hear everybody.
Oh, where are you calling in from?
Scary lady.
Love you guys. Happy Halloween, everybody. See you later.
Love you.
Dang, man, we're seeing everyone. Dude, we should dress up like this all the time. If people are gonna come and join us, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. This is like the most like guests I've seen on a power hour. I feel definitely blessed. And my cheeks are hurting so much from smiling.
Yeah, see, I think this is something everybody could do, you know, since you can't go out and just have like a Zoom in your costumes with your friends.
Yeah, I think so. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Super fun. Man, for a number of years, I think it was like 3 years or maybe more than that, my mom would do her business would do a haunted house and we would scare people. So I love scaring people.
What'd you dress up as when you were in the house?
I dressed up as like crazy, like vampire lady a lot of the time and like masks, wore masks.
I tried a mask one time, like a ninja mask, and it was like my face was like it's you're just breathing in your own breath all night, and you're like running around as like a kid, so you're getting sweaty and ridiculous. It was terrible. It was terrible. And I imagine it'd be something like that if you worked on a haunted house. But it's dope you did it. Did like all your friends work there with you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But a lot of times it's just a lot of work. So people will be like, no, I'm not gonna stay here all day. I'm gonna go have fun.
Were you allowed to touch people in the haunted house? Like, could you grab them?
I think it was not allowed. There was one time we had a really bad accident where somebody fell and hit their head. So that was scary. And then after that, we're like, no more.
That's a fair call. That's a good call. Oh, what about you guys? Where you at? Are you allowed to like grab people and hold them?
No, I don't think so. No, you just go out and scare them. And apparently, yeah, they're not supposed to touch you, or you're not supposed to touch the people that are like doing the scaring either. I think they'll like escort you out because it all is just for fun and it is just normal people underneath the costumes and whatnot. But yeah.
Did you guys have any like, well, Howie expressed how she was scared of clowns, but what about you, Josh? Were you ever like scared of any monsters growing up?
Oh, yeah, like sharks, man. Like I had trouble swimming in the deep end of pools when I was younger, and it all stemmed from this freaking movie called The Deep Blue, where it's like mako sharks and they're like genetically enhanced and they're swimming backwards, and the guy's like, "What? They're not supposed to do that." And in my mind, I'm like, "This is terrible news. This is terrible news." And yeah, I was scared of sharks forever. To be honest, I'm still a little scared of sharks, but like surfing's made it a lot better. I'm able to calm that down a bit. But oh, sharks and spiders. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so this is not a Halloween story. This is a true story. So my sister Jordan and I one time we were staying at my grandma Bo's house. Actually, my whole family was staying at my grandma Bo's house in Oklahoma. And I like woke up sleeping on the couch when we were younger, just top and tail everywhere, man. Like all the kids just laying around. So my sister was on the far end of the couch, and I woke up and I see this thing like right here in my face, and I realize it's a spider. I'm like, oh, this is bad, this is not what I want to happen early in the morning. And I punch myself in the face and I bust my own lip and have a bloody nose, and the spider goes flying, but it doesn't go off the couch and it lands on my sister Jordan. And like I jump up and I'm like, Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. She like wakes up and she's like, oh, what happened to you? It's like, I punched myself, there's a spider, there's a spider. And it was a huge wolf spider that was like crawling on my face. I punched myself, landed on Jordan, and she started screaming, and I started screaming. My mom, my aunties, my grandma, they all come out, and I've never explained this just as Leah. But yeah, so they all come out, and I'm like all bleeding, and they're like, "What the heck happened?" And told them that there's a spider. Yeah, I've never really recovered from that. I'm still scared of spiders like today. And our story is like grandmother spider is this wise elder who helps our people, who raised the two half boys, who's a really big part of our stories. But it's hard, man. It's hard to see them as sacred because I'm so scared.
Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that story. I'm sorry that happened. It's crazy. I have a scary story. We want to get into it before we end.
Yeah.
So I was about 10 years old, and I was with my little cousins, and at the time my mom's partner's daughter, ex-partner now. And so it was, the four of us, and we were at my grandma's house on the res. She lives in Fort Defiance, Arizona. And so there's she lives up on a summit on a hill and right on Black Rock Road. And so it was around like 4th of July. I remember because my older cousin, his name is Michael, he was going to go get fireworks. And we watched them get in the car and drive away, go get the fireworks. And we were outside and the sun was starting to go down. And we were getting our like dolls from the truck, and we were coming from out of town. And so like my grandma, she had her double wide, and then like behind her house there was a RV like trailer, and that's where me and my mom and our little group was staying during the night. And we had just had a ceremony, and so that's the reason why we were there, and just to celebrate with our family. And so we're like in the car and we're like trying to look for the stuff. And all of a sudden we start to hear like all the dogs barking. And, you know, that's a sign of like, okay, if the dogs are barking, you better get your butt inside. So we hear like all the dogs like start barking and like look at each other and like kind of freak out, like, oh my gosh, better go inside. But I don't know why we decided to not go through the front door. We're like, okay, we'll go through the back door. And so from that point, we started to hear the dogs barking from further distances. And we like, over there, the dogs are barking. And it's like, over there, the dogs are barking. And this is like, Navajos don't have close neighbors, okay? It's like 2 miles away over there, 2 miles away over there. Like, we want our space. And so like all our neighbors' dogs started barking and it was like going in a circle and we're like, what is happening? Oh my gosh. And so I was the oldest at the time. I think the ages went down from like 9 to like 2 8-year-olds and like a 7-year-old. And so like we're like, oh, okay, well, let's just like go in like the little trailer in the backyard because like we tried to open the back door and it was like locked and we're like trying to knock really hard. No one could hear us or having a big old, you know, party inside. And so we go back and like into the little trailer and we're like playing with our little dolls. And like all of a sudden we hear like this like sound of something running. And we sounded like, I'm like just gonna give an example really quick. It was like, not like that. It's like, it was something like running on top of the RV. And we're like, what is that? And then at that point, they lost it. They started crying. Everybody started crying. And I was the oldest one. So I was like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? And we're like screaming from the little trailer. We're like, help us. And it's like, so we hear that on top of the roof. And we start to hear like different things, like little scratches. And we're like, oh, freaking out. And I like go to like peek out the window and like as I'm like walking there, like something like pushed the RV enough for me to fall back and like everyone's screaming like bloody murder. And we're in there for a while and my mom's like ceremonial box was inside the RV and we had the ceremony and so she had like a really big arrowhead. So I grabbed the arrowhead. I'm like, okay guys, like we have to get inside. We're just gonna bang on the window really loud. And so I like open the door. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out first and you guys run to the door and then I'll be right behind you. So there's this like really big tree in between like the RV and the house. And I remember like running like right under the tree and it was like little girls like running in and like in the back I could just like hear like a rush, like the sound in the tree and like, oh, it gives me like goosebumps to think about it. But then the door was unlocked and we were able to get in. Yeah, that's my scary story. We came in like screaming, crying, and like our uncles and like went outside like trying to see like what was freaking us out, but they didn't find anything.
Dude, that's so unclear. How old were you at the time?
I think I was like 10.
This is
I
a
just
true
given up on
story.
It's Navajo scary story, guys.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Gotta cut my losses and sacrifice one of my little cousins. That's what happened.
I've never shared that story like online anywhere, so I'm like, we'll see if people believe me. But it did happen. Go to the Navajo Res. It's kind of scary sometimes.
my goodness.
That's how it is, man. Out on the res, there's always something going on.
Yeah, it was crazy. But like my mom, my aunt were like, oh, it's your cousins, your older cousins. But we were like, no, we saw them drive away. Like we know it was not them. So, and there was like none of our other family members around.
I wish you healing, man. And your little cousins too.
It's crazy because like eventually, like, I mean not eventually, like here and there they'll be like, wow, Sib, you're like really brave to like go out there. And I'm like, you remember that? That was crazy, right? Like, yeah, you're really brave. I can't believe you did that.
Jeez, man. Hopefully this year everyone has a safe holiday. And if your neighbor's dogs start barking around in a circle all around you, look for an offering. Look for an offering. Maybe some of that steak that you didn't eat, or one of your nieces and nephews that don't listen. See if that appeases whatever spirits out there. Jeez, man. Jeez. I'm just kidding. That's not in line with our teachings. We don't offer people. But we're at 103 right now. We are at 103 right now. Is that baby with you now?
Yeah, she just woke up. I had to feed her.
Little puff.
Hello.
Just see her hair.
Yeah,
It is so long and beautiful. Hosea had like kind of long hair and then it fell out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that happens.
You know, how like old business guys in like movies in the 90s had like that bald patch up front. You know what I'm talking about? And there was like hair ring all around. Not like the monk hair ring. It was like sophisticated hair ring. Yeah, that's what my baby girl had for about a month. It's growing back now. I'm like, oh, thank you. I was worried there for a second, man. I was like, come on. Gonna need something to help it out. Just massage her head, kind of tease that hair out.
Cute. Yeah, I try to comb her hair down and it just like stays straight up.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank NWI and Native Wellness Institute, I20SP for having us on and continuing to share space, make space during this time of the pandemic, and allowing opportunity to, visit, talk about different healing tools, especially I feel definitely like we've created a community here on our Facebook lives, and I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and feeling that sense of community, and thanks for listening to my stories, our stories. I hope I didn't scare any of you guys too much to where you don't want to visit the Navajo Res, but come, it's okay. And yeah, prayers to everybody. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you, Sib. Go ahead, Holly.
Yeah, thank you for having us on. It was super fun, super fun to see you guys' costumes and hear your stories, and to hear your different ideas of what you are doing at home to stay safe with your little babies, and to keep your family safe. So yeah, it's always nice to talk with you guys. And I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. Happy Halloweeny, as Julie knows. But yeah, I hope everybody's staying safe and having a good time.
Yeah, thank you, Native Wellness Institute, for having us on the Power Hour today. Please reach out on the different social media platforms that NWI, the Native Wellness Institute, the Indigenous 20-something project are on. Let us know what you guys are doing for Halloween. Show us photos, tag us in posts if you want us to share it. Let us know. This is a beautiful time, a fun time. It's definitely going to be a different time this year. And, we're glad that we were able to share this time with you and hopefully support you. I feel supported and uplifted just from seeing Howie's emergency hot dog costume and Sib's awesome cheetah costume. So I hope we were able to bring some of that joy to you too. Thank you for being with us.